Okay, you all come in. Let's get this live stream started, right? Let's get this live stream started. Make sure you hit like, you hit share. Let's build up the algorithm and let's get some people in the room, right? Let's get some people in the room. Hope you had a great Monday today to start your work week, right?
The one thing Clinton did I didn't like, raise taxes. Taxes all high and shit. You know what's fucked about taxes? You don't even pay taxes. They take tax. You get your check, money gone. That ain't a payment, that's a jack. Got all this taxes, city tax, state tax, social security tax. You don't get the money till you're 65. Meanwhile, the average black man dies at 54. Shit, you get your social security at 29. So fuck, man, we don't live that long. Hypertension, high blood pressure, NYPD, something get you. What the fuck is up with the police, my God? I'm scared. I ain't getting rid of no guns. Fuck that shit. And I had a cop pull me over the other day, scared me so bad, made me think I stole my own car. Get out the car, get out the fucking car. You stole this car. I'm like, damn, maybe I did. Oh Lord, I done stole a car. You know what's worse than taxes? What's worse than taxes? Insurance. You got to have some insurance. You got to. They're like insurance. They shouldn't even call it insurance. They should just call it in case shit. But I give a company some money in case shit happens. Now, if shit don't happen, shouldn't I get my money back? That's right, man. You better have some medical insurance or you're going to die. That's right, everybody. Who you got to eat right and exercise? No, you don't. You need some coverage. Coverage will save your life. That's right. I mean, we all gonna die, but at least if you got some coverage, you will die on a mattress.
So that was my intro. And the reason why I played that is because I made this post on Facebook. As you all come in, hello to you all. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. We already got one hater who hit the thumbs down. Thank you for watching, right? The thumbs down helps as well. That helps the algorithm as well. And so I made this post as I posted the great late Kobe Bryant as well. People don't understand. This is what greatness look like. You want to be a millionaire? Be willing to do millionaire things. You want to you want to be great, right? Then be willing to put in the sacrifice, right? Be willing to put in the sacrifice. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So I made this post that Chris Rock, that was 2011, made a comedy about government robbing you in taxes. Now he's saying get the, you know what, and do the math, right? That's just my opinion, right? That's just my opinion. He made a comedy about taxes. And one way to the best way to educate people is to entertain them at the same time. Something I definitely want to get better at edutainment, right? So the best way to educate people is to make them laugh at the same time and laugh at the truth. Make them laugh at the truth. And now all of a sudden, as these Biden's new tax laws mandate or executive orders coming into play, that may happen. Now Chris Rock is coming out with what many people are saying on his Twitter seems like a political paid advertisement, right? And encouraging people to get the jab. So that's just me. Do the math. You can say whatever you want to. Someone put on one of my posts, right, that with this new banking account executive order that may take place, and Le- Leah Bird, I'm glad you caught me live as well. Welcome to the live stream. I'm so glad to have you in. Oline Robinson, when can you interview me? Send me an email about what you want the interview to be about and what platform. I will be glad to have that conversation with you. That's my email address. Email me at ld@fixmycreditandcash.com, right? And so someone commented on one of my posts, right, about I made a post and I said that the government gave out free stimulus money just so they can make sure that they have your latest up-to-date checking account information, right? And someone commented, "Oh well, we can just change our checking account." Do you think you can really outsmart the government? The all-seeing eye, the R to the S. Okay, change that banking account and see if that child tax credit continues to hit. Change that banking account and see if your uh, government benefits continue to come. If your EBT cards is credited every month. Are EBT cards linked to a checking account, a bank account? I don't know. But change that banking account. And you're going to change your government status as well if you are a person who receives government assistance. Now, I don't know. I don't know how CTC or the EBT works, right? I'm not sure. I think EBT may be just directly deposited to your card, I'm assuming. But see if that fourth stimulus happens, if you get that, if you change your banking accounts. Listen, the government are years ahead, years ahead, years ahead. To most people, this is something new and unfortunately, right, surprising, right? This is something new and surprising. And then someone asked me on my last live stream that I did about 2 hours ago. They're really interested and excited about debt jubilee. They want to know, um, will I be debt free? Will the government be debt free, et cetera, et cetera? Will the Nasara Act happen? No, the government is not going to give you free gold. And then they're not going to give you God's money, right? You're not going to get that for free. You're going to have to show that your ancestors or your family was affected by that in the 1930s, or they're going to have that on their records. They know everyone that turned in their gold, right? They know that. They have records of this. I promise you the government does, right? Hello, 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 everyone coming in. Hello. So they have full documentation on what families generational deserve what, right? That's number one. Number two, number two, um, the government knows more about you than you know yourself. They know all about your spending habits. They know all about what time you watch television. They know what you're going to believe on television, right? If you break down television, it's tell live vision. Tell live vision. And someone made a comment, went to me on Facebook when I made that Chris Rock post comparison that Mississippi is the highest numbers as far as deaths, right? And dealing with this health pandemic, which is totally not true because I'm in Mississippi and guess what? I have a family, I have a loved one that works at these hospitals that they're saying they putting beds in the parking garage. So I have firsthand knowledge if this information that you're saying on the media, on the news is true, that works at these hospitals. It's not true. And we forget that Mississippi is in the top 3 states of bad health and obesity. And so I'm back on debt and the NASARAG. Everybody wants to know, will I be debt free? Will NASARA clear my debts? Listen, you got homeless people that are debt free every day. Homeless people are debt free. Look, the Bible says, "Oh, no man, nothing but to love him," which that scripture was taken out of context, right? In Romans, because the whole context of that chapter is to give honor and homage and love and appreciation where it is due. And if you owe a man, if you told somebody you're going to repay them as agreed on time, right? And so, with that being said, everybody want to know, listen, you can be debt free tomorrow. You can wake up and make a decision and say, I'm not paying any bills. But there's consequences behind it, right? If you don't pay for someone to live, somewhere to live, you have nowhere to live. You can wake up and decide you're not going to pay your vehicle note and that you're going to be debt free. But guess what? You won't have transportation. Homeless people wake up every day debt free. Debt freedom does not mean financial freedom, right? Debt freedom does not mean financial freedom. Let me read some of these comments. Okay, I won't read that one. Caris Crawford, double C. I will highlight it though so others can read. Some things I can't verbally say because I don't want my channel to be flagged, right? And I agree with you, Beautiful Vibes, as it's up to people and their lifestyle. You would think that in a health pandemic that healthy lifestyle choices would be promoted, right? You would think that at some point we'll talk about healthier lifestyle, right? The best prevention of becoming sick and ill is to do the things that prevent you from being sick and ill in the first place. Wouldn't you agree? And to stop the bad habits that got you there. See, you cannot, as they say in the fitness and exercise world, outwork a bad diet. There's no treadmill plan that you can do. There's no sauna plan. There's no weight bench pressing plan. There's nothing you can do to outwork a bad diet. Good health happens from the inside out. That's including the mental, right? That's including the mental. Good health never stems for anything from the outside in, ever. It never stems from the outside in. And so, with that being said, I saw this on military personnel. So, definitely want you all to pray for the military right now. Military suicides are increasing. This is from Forbes magazine. So, I'm going to play a clip of this. I think Forbes is a very creditable source of their reporting, right? It's not Fox News, definitely not CNN. Forbes has proven to be, I think, a very creditable source, right? I'm sharing my screen. Give me 1 second. So I share that screen to see how many thumbs up. I'm still sharing the wrong screen. Give me 1 second. Republicans. Okay, let's play that. Crystal, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. I always like to say affirmations on that. So I will definitely do that in a few. But thank you for supporting the channel, the knowledge, the time, and the information. I do appreciate your support. Thank you.
None of them
and have been allowed an exemption. They have applied. Their applications were received favorably within their immediate chain of command, but as they go up to the top, there's almost a blanket prohibition. In fact, I'm going to say right now, there is a blanket prohibition on religious and medical exemptions, and nobody in the military can get one. So why would we give more, be more charitable to immigrants into this country than we are to our own U.S. members of the military? I just think it's disrespectful of the military not to honor these exceptions that they seek while we turn around and offer these exceptions to immigrants. There were vaccinations for immigrants coming into this country, the COVID vaccination, and it's got exceptions for moral and religious objections. And Madam Chairwoman, you yourself did say that there's already guidelines or legislation or something in place that would institute this without the amendment. But you mentioned that there were exemptions for moral and religious reasons, and I was able to look into that, and there are exemptions. So here is my question, somewhat rhetorical. We have exemptions in the statutes for members of the military for either medical or religious reasons. Yet I've spoken with dozens of members of the military, and none of them have been allowed an exemption. They have applied. Their applications were received favorably within their immediate chain of command, but as they go up to the top, there's almost a blanket prohibition. In fact, I'm going to say right now, there is a blanket prohibition on religious and medical exemptions, and nobody in the military can get one. So why would we give more, be more charitable to immigrants into this country than we are to our own U.S. members of the military? I just think it's disrespectful of the military not to honor these exceptions that they seek while we turn around and offer these exceptions to immigrants. There were more people who died of suicide, more members of the active duty military and veterans yesterday died of suicide than there were in an entire year die of COVID in the military. Yet we are putting our members of the military in an incredibly difficult position.
Did you all hear that from Forbes? More military personnel who died from the jab. This was September the 17th. Forbes breaking news. I'm sorry, who died from suicide. Then C-19. You won't see that on your big media, CNBC, Fox, CNN, will you? More people in the military that have died in this past year from the jab than from C-19, according to Forbes. I'm John. I will not read that out loud, but I will highlight it to let you know that I am definitely in agreement. But I don't know if you all know this or not. Like on Instagram, you can't even got censored. I don't know if you all follow him on Instagram. And he had a hashtag called natural immunity. And they blocked that hashtag with any natural, suggestions. But you are right on point. I would definitely, John, stock up on those things. All of what you're saying, right? I think only thing that I said yesterday on my live stream is that, not ginger, but garlic as well is a natural antibiotic and immunity. So, just adding garlic to everything that you said is great. Now, that's the whole mixture though. Mushroom, John. Ugh, I don't know. You mix all of that and add mushroom. Would I be able to stomach that? Now, something I do that helps me and with my skin is I eat a cucumber daily. I try to eat a cucumber daily. So this is to Crystal as well. Crystal, this is to your 999. Giving infinite spirit, infinite God, open up the way for Crystal's immediate supply. Let all that is hers come to her right now by divine right and great avalanches of abundance. Let it reach her right now, right? And if there's anything else that she needs to do to receive her return, give her a definite lead, a definite answer, and lead her in the right direction. And thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and let me say this: a lot of people ask me sometimes, Queen, what does it mean when I'm seeing numbers? Right? What does it mean when I'm seeing numbers? Because, and we're gonna get into cryptocurrency. I'm doing pretty good. I've covered one topic at 20-minute mark. That's good for me because I love teaching and stuff. I can go on and on and on. And so I was pumping gas at a local gas station. And you all that follow me, or if you can see my name on my channel, is Queen1111. And that's for a reason. The number 11 mentions judgments, and the number 11, like a lot of numbers in the Bible, it means two things, twofold. It means, according to Deuteronomy 1 and 11, may the Lord thy God, the God of your ancestors, increase you 1,000 times more and bless you. So that means Deuteronomy 1:11. That 1:11 code is for blessing and prosperity, right? Because to be blessed is not is it includes more than just prosperity. It means your health, your wealth, your mental health, your peace, your protection, right? And so increase 1,000 times more. So I was pumping gas, right? And people say, what does it mean when I'm seeing these numbers? I think everybody on this live stream would agree that when you see numbers, right, it is a sign of the infinite God or universe sending you numbers, right? Some people even refer to them as angel numbers. And so I saw this and it says pump operations, follow instructions on, and the screen part is off. And it gives you two options, yes or no. Do you want the rewards? Yes or no. My award rewards ended up 1111. And I made a caption. I says, as I was pumping gas, this message came up for me to use my reward card. Pump operations, follow instructions. I could decide yes to follow the instructions or no to receive my rewards. Some people see numbers and they gamble in the world's economy, and they lose money. They lose more money than they gain, and they get taxed. Right? They lose more money than they gain. I need to read words. Let me edit this while I'm saying, because I see some typos. And so they gambles in the world system, and whether they, you all remember that sushu, what was that blooming flower? People were doing that sushu, blooming flower, a couple of months ago. And then you have, people that go to the casino when they see numbers, right? They think, oh, that's, those are my numbers. I had these numbers in a dream. And that's the world takes everything that God makes and perverts it. And they put perversion on it. Or they go play bingo, or they go play cards, or they roll dice, or they play scratch off, right? Now, if God told you to do that, listen, that's what God told you to do. If God told you to do it, because the Bible does says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, but let it be God. Because more people that gamble, often if they analyze their money, lose more than they gain. And even in your winnings and earnings, you get highly taxed. But in God's economic system, right, through his economic system, there's no taxation. And it's a definite return. So Some people see numbers. Oh, my birthday is on these numbers, and they gamble and they gamble and they gamble for life, right? And they never they never get ahead. And some people that do get ahead in the world system, they gamble, they make millions, and then they misappropriate. They don't know how to handle their success. Because did you all know that 80% of millionaires were not overnight percent success, meaning that it was not a generational wealth transfer? And that 80% of millionaires did not just make 1 million at one time, or not even 1 million a year, that they invested their money and they let their money work and work for them to get millionaire status. They did just get 1 million at one time. And this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Do you want the rewards? Yes or no? When you go to the bank, when you deposit cash in the bank, the way that it was originally set up, when cash was pure, and when you never lost your purchasing power, is when it was back, or when it was IOUs to redeem. They were called gold certificates and silver certificates. So you can redeem the real money, which is gold and silver. So when you will put the paper IOU in the bank, you can come back and return to the bank, right? And you can return to the bank and you can get real money, gold and silver. And that means it was an IOU. But let me propose this to you. When you give to God's systems, you have just created an invoice for God to pay you back in the IOU. And his system never fails. It never has failed. It never does fail. Even in times of recession and drought, it never fails for those who are connected to the system. So spiritual people won't teach you that biblical concept about when you see numbers. Your numbers are supposed to manifest for you. Like I just showed the picture of Kobe Bryant, right? I said, this is what success looked like. See, when Kobe was number 24 and then he transformed to number 8, the number 8 means divine transition. It means the breaking down of an old, right, to now build a new. It means a absolutely new series. And then you all, I don't know if you all saw the comedian AJ that passed away. And I saw someone that made a post about AJ and they said to rest in power. See, the number 7 means to rest, to reset. But it also, rest can also means to bankrupt. Or rest means that you can arise in power from resting, that you rise up the next day or a couple hours empowered, in power. So rest means to bankrupt as well. See, everything in the Bible, the numbers are twofold. They're conditional. The Bible always says, if you do, then I will do this. Right? It's contingent upon your act of obedience or disobedience. As Travis gives the $33, I'm going to do an affirmation and explain the number 3, which is also a powerful number, and God's economic system and heaven's economic system. And see, when Kobe Bryant was number 24, he was one type of Kobe, right? Which equals the number 6. 6 is the number of man, and which God said it was very good. Or 6 can be the number of man in which you can decide, like Eve decided. And if you all look at numerology, the name Eve is equals to the number 19. As we see C19 often advertised. And see, also the name Job equals up to the numbers 19. And Job went through trial and error, but Job came out better and more abundant. Right? Job's decisions to follow God's way ended up in abundance and more blessed than he was previously. But Eve's decision to do things her way ended up in her being cursed. So Kobe Bryant was a different as he operated on the number 24 and 6 than he was when he operated in number 8. And a lot of people in that wealth and prestige community called it their alter ego. But what it is they understand the number system and that it takes action and hard work. And it takes effort and decision making on their part in order for them to tap into their higher powers. See, Michael Jordan, when he was number 23, he was the great. He was at the peak of his career. But when he came back at number 45 with the Washington Wizards, which equals 9, right? 9 is the number of completion. 9 is the number of Jesus died on the ninth hour on the cross, right? So 9 is definitely the number of final, the divine completion. So Michael Jordan was sending out a message when he was with the Wizards that this is going to be my final finale. But he didn't operate in the same power and greatness as he did with number 23. Number 23, the number 5 is victory and war, right? As David had 5 smooth stones to kill Goliath. So Michael Jordan experienced a lot of victory and war when he was 23. But the number 9 means to be transformed into divine completeness. And at the ninth hour, Jesus went down. He descended. He died. So when Michael Jordan was number 45, he wasn't the same person. See, numbers mean something, especially in God's economic system, in heaven's economy. And this is the thing, too. I heard Jay-Z say today on a song, right? Jay-Z. And Jay-Z said, broke people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Have you all heard that song by Jay-Z? Jay-Z dropped so much game in his rap lyrics, right? Jay-Z said, broke people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Jay-Z said on his album 444, as I told you, all numbers mean something, right? He said, you on the gram, talking about Instagram, holding money to your ear, but there's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. You know what Jay-Z was saying in that? He was saying that money, fiat, cash currency, loses its purchasing power. See, I can have a Bitcoin, and no matter how much a price of bread, a loaf of bread is, my Bitcoin gains will always exceed that price of bread, even if it dips 14%. But if you have cash, a loaf of bread in 1960 may was 60 cents. But a loaf of bread now in 2021 is about $3 and $5 in some places, depends on what type of bread you're buying. So cash loses its purchasing power, but an asset always gains in its purchasing power. Now, we can look at these two scriptures. You can focus on money being the root of all evil, or you can focus on Ecclesiastes 10 and 19, that money answers all things. Thank you. It's all about your mind. Again, Matthew 25 showed me one thing, and Jesus is the only way. I really got these numbers from God. There's a lot of books that teach about the numerology of the Bible, but God told me go through Genesis, look at things like David and the 5 smooth stones and see what they represented. Look at the numbers according to the scriptures. Like people just say sometimes 8 means new beginning. No, 8 means more than just new beginning. 8 is the infinity sign upside down. 8 means the alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. It's an in a change. And that's Revelations 1 and 11. So what people forget to mention with that is that the number 8 is the new beginning or the new series from the breaking down of the old. It transitions from the number 7. And if you don't understand that for something new to happen, that something old must be breaking down. You're absolutely right. God never intended us. God says, listen, in Deuteronomy, I gave you the power to get well. God said, you know what? What would it look like? My daughter just came in the house. For me to be rich and wealthy and for her to be somewhere poor. She would almost have to be like a ill-informed child, an adopted child, a bastard child. How can her mother be rich and wealthy and she be poor? Now, the only time, let me catch you real quick. The only time that happens is when people that's connected to wealthy families, like the parable of the prodigal son, decides they want to relinquish their wealth rights. See, the parable of the prodigal son is about a son that had everything in his father's house, under his father's covering. And he decided, like, I want to do my own thing. I want to go out. See, in the Jewish tradition and Jewish custom, a child could ask and request for 1/3 of their inheritance by rights. So the father said, okay, if you don't want me to support you, if you don't want me to supply for you, I'll give you what's yours. You can go out and dwindle with it and do what you want to. And he went out in the world and left his father's system of supply. He wanted for nothing, but he wanted to be like Burger King and he wanted to do it his way. And so he went out in the world, and guess what? He ended up eating the slop of the world with the pigs. That's what happens when you do things your way and the world's way. And you become intra-dependent from God and God's way. You end up eating the slop of the world. And when he returned back home, his father gave him a robe again and a ring. And he said, go kill the fattest calf. Because in Jewish tradition, you ate beef, you ate steak. You know, people talk about you don't eat meat in the Bible. There's many instances. The 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, Jesus made fish. Jesus increased Simon Peter's fishing boat business. So if Jesus was so against fish, why did he feed it to his followers? But that's another topic. And he said, go kill the fattest cow, right? And we're gonna eat. And they only ate that when royalty returned. So he went back under his father's covenant. See, you got people, they can labor hard to do things their way. See, rich and wealthy people, right? They buy time. They buy time because they make their money work hard for them, right? Rich and wealthy people leverage their time. Poor working middle class labor for theirs. Rich and wealthy people buy time. They make investments. They make their money work harder for them. You know what happens when you all sell your cryptocurrency, for example? You have just sold your employees. You had employees working for you where you didn't have to do no work. And when you sold your cryptocurrency, you shifted from being a boss and an owner of employees to now being back to a worker. Because now you have nothing making your money work for you. This is just like the parable of the talents. The man that dug his money in the ground and buried it, he fired his money from working for him. Money is supposed to be moving. And yeah, Paul Burns says, quote, money, the love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. Money is neither good or bad. It's And so when you sell your assets, I don't think people understand how early you are in crypto right now. I don't think people understand that this is a groundbreaking foundational opportunity to invest in something that's only going to increase in value over time. Even if you got in late and it took a dip, listen, that's just a paper loss. I don't think you understand just like getting in at Amazon for pennies on the dollars or Tesla or one of these big stocks. And when you sell it, you're just firing your employees. You just fired your employees from having your money work. Your money is always supposed to be moving, whether it's helping somebody, whether it is giving so you can get back. God always writes you an IOU in his economy system. He never gives you back what you gave out, ever. Rich and wealthy people will always tell you the best return on their money is tithing and giving. Rich and wealthy people will tell you that. And that's why a lot of people are not rich and wealthy, because they don't practice those principles. So Treasury takes on cryptocurrency upstarts as popularity soars. New attention on so-called stable coins is setting up a clash between the emerging crypto industry and financial regulators. The Treasury Department is moving to rein in a new class of cryptocurrencies whose popularity as a payment method is skyrocketing, citing a need to head off potential risks to consumers, to the financial system. The so-called stable coins, payment tokens that differ from other cryptocurrencies because their value is often pegged to the US dollar, is drawing scrutiny because they have already been used in trillions of dollars worth of lightning fast transactions and can transform the way Americans pay for things. Treasury and other regulators want to ensure that they're reliable, even during financial panics. So this new attention on crypto by the Treasury, according to this article, has come out. And you also have tension between more traditional firms like banks, which used to dominate the payment industry. So you have more people that's in the banking industry that's now in the hospital industry. Do you all know how much money that these Pfizer, Moderna, and all of these have made from administering these jabs created at warp speed? Do you all know the billions of dollars that has happened? You know how much a big wealth transfer that has happened? You're so correct, IBE. If you don't understand what the Bible says about money, you need to go back and reread the Bible. That is so accurate and correct. So Bitcoin is an asset. Other cryptocurrencies are an asset, right? They don't fluctuate. Their value. I got in late when I started talking about Bitcoin, and this was last year in May. It was $3,000 and it's 46,000. The lowest its dip had been about 28,000. But if you get in at 3,000, you're still ahead. So they want to make sure that these things are going to be regulated. But it's the only answer right now for this economy crash that is coming. It's cryptocurrency because it's fast. Right now, if you wanted to ship billions of dollars or millions of dollars, the fastest way you can do that is maybe through a plane. And if that doesn't get seized, because when you ship money, and even when you have gold overseas and you're transporting gold from one country to the other, right? Um, some people have gotten their gold confiscated as well, right? And it's the way to escape the truth. Digital was reality is bad. Um, everybody Tether is invested in illegal activity, so is cash. Always has been. And you're right, gold and silver is God's money, but guess what? Guess who dictates the value of gold and silver on earth? Man does. Man does. It is God's money, but man dictates that. And most people that tell me about gold and silver is God's money, they don't even know how gold is created. It is quite amazing. Gold is created by a supernova, by a star bursting in the sky. And just like the same qualities of gold, what makes Bitcoin valuable is not only its scarcity and man's inability to produce it. See, man cannot create a supernova, only God can do that. So man, unlike cash, cannot just print it out at will. This is what makes it so valuable. The same as Bitcoin. 18.78 million Bitcoins have been minted. And there are only, guess what? The 222 code, 222 million left. And this what makes Bitcoin. That's why when people want to sell their Bitcoin or trade it, I want to trade Bitcoin for cash, go right ahead. Because when you trade it, people like me are going to come in and scoop it up and hold it. Because will be a forever asset. And what makes things asset on earth is what man's decision. Man will decide that Bitcoin is going to be an asset, just like they're deciding that gold and silver are assets. Supply and demand, the only thing that will decrease in value is cash. And the more that is distributed out, the less is the purchasing power is going to be. And guess why the government love cash, right? Because they can tax it. They can tax it. They can put their taxes on it. Now, Tab said, I would say get as much physical gold and silver. This is why I will not say to do that, right? This is why I will not say to do that. Number one is because physical gold and silver is for capital gains for the upper middle class, meaning that the rich and wealthy would never sell gold and silver. That's generational wealth. Robert Kiyosaki would tell you that I would never sell my gold and silver. It's insurance for me. But people, the upper middle class, look at it as an investment, unfortunately, because people that have no cash flow have to sell for capital gains. It's just like farmers. Farmers have land as an asset. But when they're unable to produce crops, they sell their land because they lack cash flow. So you need cash flow in order to hold on to assets. And this is why people flip crypto. This is why they flip gold and silver. True assets that can pass on generational wealth. Because they don't have a cash flow plan. This is why I tell people the best cash flow plan is to merge with other people. Energy, frequency, and vibration. I talked about the parable of talents when the man buried and hid his money in the ground. His money was not moving. John D. Rockefeller says it this way: I would rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% from the efforts of my own. He understood the power of networking. He understands that when all of your energy is used to making money, when it's just you when you just want to do a business alone, when you don't work in collaboration with people in a system, saving yourself time, energy, mistakes, and money, then you'll be working for the rest of your life. Warren Buffett says if you don't know how to make money in your sleep, you'll be working until you die. And guess what? You're even taxed when you die. And then Henry Ford said it this way. He said if people really understood the banking system and they really understood cash, there will be a bank run, a riot by tomorrow morning. So wealthy people understand they have a financial education. They never make money solo. They either hire people to be their employees like Amazon, right? Elon, they use the talent and the skills and the human resources of people. They use systems. They use networking. The only people that don't understand how to leverage somebody else's labor is people without a financial education, right? That people with a hustle mentality that only understand how to flip. That every time you make money, it has to take your energy and effort, right? That's evidence of a lack of financial education. So the wealthy may avoid 163 billion in taxes every year. And this is how they do it. The wealthiest Americans may be avoiding. See, until you learn how to pay less taxes, you will never increase your income. You will never increase your cash flow. The wealthiest Americans may be avoiding 106 billion in income taxes taxes every year, according to the report by the U.S. Department of Treasury, who's also looking into crypto. The U.S. tax brackets increased by income. The ultra wealthy often leverage laws. Leverage the laws to reduce how much they owe. This is the education that the poor working class and the upper middle class do not understand how to do. They leverage the laws. What laws, Queen? The tax laws. To reduce how much they owe. Financial experts, see, some of you all work with financial experts and some of you all work with financial advice, totally different. And the home-based business of the link that I'm showing, the 111 million movement, where you can learn about it. The reason why I chose this home-based business and not a weight loss tea. The reason why I chose this home-based business and not a travel home-based business is because they have IRS certified financial experts to help you understand the stuff that's strategically not taught in schools. It's sacred knowledge they don't want you to know. So you got Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. The wealthiest American may be dodging as much as 1.6 billion in income taxes every year. And would you believe it? I had someone that was a six-figure income earner that told me once, well, I don't mind paying $20,000, $25,000 in taxes because I make six figures. That's not financial intelligence. Because not only do men like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Kanye West make the money, they also get tax refunds. Yeah, I did a video on that by Jeff Bezos got money back and paid zero in federal taxes. Right? And these are billionaires, trillionaires, pay little to no taxes compared to their wealth. The number one thing people lack is financial experts, not financial advice, experts that help them to build wealth. And so all of these people that have, and that you all know too, that even when you purchase silver, there is a certain type of silver that you need to purchase So it won't get reported back to the IRS on the resale of it if you are selling, if you can't hold like the rich and wealthy do. And this is why I highly recommend and suggest, right? Um, as that people invest in financial education and knowledge, because you need to know what silver to buy so that when you resell it, this is why I tell people all the time, I'm not a financial advisor, right? No information on my video should be taken as financial advice or recommendations to buy or sell any sort of security or investments. My products and videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only. I consider myself a financial expert though. Why am I a financial expert? Because I'm applying this and I'm in a network marketing community. See, my network marketing business, I'm in the company of multimillionaires, former NFL players that have making these purchases and knows all the tax laws and are on levels that I'm going to. Right? I'm following, they're pioneering, and I'm following the formula for success. Right? Success is not a secret, it is a system. And so I tell people, invest in the Silver Stacking Report. You can get both of these at fixmycreditandcash.com. So you can know what silver you need to buy, because there's a difference in 0.999 silver and 0.9999 silver. It's a difference in rounds and coins, and it's a difference in bars. And it is definitely a tax difference if you are one of the people that's looking to resell. As I see the number 44444 on my live stream, it's just something about numbers. When I see them, it just stands out to me, because I know biblical numbers have powers, right? The number one universal language in the world is numbers. Everybody understands numbers, whether you speak Spanish, Japanese, right? How much both of these, if you want to order both of these, the cash on crypto is $60 for both reports. And you actually get a discount because the cash on crypto book alone, right, is $75 if you purchase separately. So that's at fixmycreditandcash.com on that website, right? And real quick, let me break down 444 triple fours. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but it is stated by theologians that Jesus' ministry actually began on September 11, on 9/11. I told you, man always takes God's system and pervert it. And so September 11 is 26 AD, right? And the number 4, the triple four, means Christ's earthly ministry, right? So September the 24th was the Day of Atonement in 26 AD. It was the start of a Jubilee year. 4444 was the start of a Jubilee year, as we're talking about the Nasara Act. And when this currency system is reset to crypto, that the old debt under the fiat system will be eradicated and wiped out for many, right? Travavis, you are so correct. Every king has a treasure. You're so correct. And so September 11 was not only the Day of Atonement, 26 AD, it was Jesus' first public address in the Nazareth, first public address in Nazareth, as he linked his ministry message to the period of liberty and freedom, 4444, 26 AD, as it's 445 now, means liberty and freedom. And this occurred every 50th year. According to Leviticus 25, I talk to you about Shemitah all the time. So it represents Christ's earthly ministry. September 11, when he began it, 26 AD, a very monumental day in history that man took and distorted it and made it a memorial day of pain and disaster and destruction. The start of a Jubilee year. So when people give like $444, they're giving into the liberty of freedom of God's Christly earthly ministry. So I just want you all to know that I just saw those numbers. And in the Hebrew years, it's 3787. In Hebrew years, 3787 and 3789, right? Alike, 3787 and 3789. They had 13 months in them, which was 4 days for the number 444, right? And 4 days. They had 13 months and 4 days for the number 444. 3 plus 1 is 4 as well. And Travis, I think you gave 33. 3 means DNA transformation. On the third day, Jesus turned water into wine. It means a new DNA. If any man be in Christ, the Christos, he is a new creature. 3 is the perfect Godhead. Your 7 chakras, the 4th chakra ends at your throat, which is called the vagus, right? This is where we have a lot of gambling in Vegas. So it ends the 4th chakra. Your last 3 transitions is the highest, is the Trinity, right? So it means a effect. Jesus on the third day had the spoken word, a chemical change effect, right? It means creation, manifestation, and growth. 33. As Scottie Pippen was number 33, right? He manifested, he created Michael Jordan and his greatness and growth. It symbolizes an interconnectedness, right? Of your body, your mind, and your spirit. So I've said what I said about the Treasury, taxes, and crypto. Eddie, you may have come in late. But Eddie, let me tell you a rule of thumb for my platform, right? As I'm about to log off. We're going to end it with this. As I said, Jay-Z said, right? Jay-Z said that broke people know the price of everything, the value of nothing. So, Ed, I want you to picture this. I want you to envision this, that you are at a high-scale restaurant, right? And you're visiting this restaurant for the first time. You're at a high-scale, high-priced restaurant. And because you're visiting for the first time, you want to know the price of the food. So you ask for a menu, right? Because you want to make sure you can afford it, because you don't want to sit down and order and eat first, then get the bill and you can't afford to pay. That would be embarrassment. And you look at the menu and then you ask to see the manager on duty. And you tell the manager, Eddie Penn, that, hey, I don't like the price of your services or your products. And I think, because Eddie is giving me his opinion on my platform, right? He said, talk crypto. It's almost telling me what to do, I believe, because I've already talked crypto in the Treasury. But you tell the manager, I think your prices are too high and that you need to lower your prices. You give the manager what? Your opinion and their place of establishment, which is their place of power and on their platform. You know what the manager would tell you? He would look you directly in your eyes and say, you do not have an opinion in my place of business where you have not made an investment. And likewise, I'm looking at you directly in my camera and telling you this. You don't tell me, you don't have an opinion about what I talk about on my platform. Because when people are giving super chats and cash app, I'm going to break down to them what they are supposed to receive in return. You don't have an opinion where you have not made an investment. I am going to make sure that the people that have been giving, no matter what I'm talking about, receive my affirmation so they can receive their immediate supply from the infinite spirit, the infinite God, and that All that is theirs is given to them by divine right, and that it reached them in great avalanches of abundance. And if there's anything else they need to know to manifest that return on their investment into the kingdom, that they will get a definite sign of what they will need to do. So with that, you all, I could really drop my gold mic right here and sign out. But I'm telling you all, you really need a plan. You need to prepare and plan as the Democratic Party plans to wipe out independent contractors. I told people this a long time ago. I told people this, that if you're going to call this a pandemic, then why aren't you planning? I told people that you need a plan to work from home because this economy will be shut down again. And you need to know how to make money from your house. I told independent contractors that machines and robots would take your jobs, especially when this new currency system, since you all want me to talk about crypto, comes into play. It says, as Washington turns its attention to a massive $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill, every household in America should be on high alert because some Democrats want to take away the right to work. Listen, the jab is not even going to save your job. And did you all know that in order to be considered to be fully vaccinated, that you're supposed to get 3 jabs, not 2, but 3? So for a lot of people like Travis that give into the 333, I would say it to him this way. If you are in a position where they're asking you to take 3 to keep a job, you have a right, because the number 3 means DNA transformation biblically, as a part of your giving, to request for the infinite spirit to give a wall of protection about you. See, Jesus rose in power on the 3rd day. 9 is the number of completion, right? The number of fulfillment. 777 is divine transition. It's divine transition. It's a reset. Listen, I said about 777. You can rest in power. It means a day of resting, right? Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Or you can rest in poverty. 7 means you're no longer earthbound, that you have a fulfillment of a special mission or request. 777. That is in the spiritual realm. It's a new year. As we celebrated the Shemitah, it represented a new year, ahead of a year, transition going into number 8. 7 means a holy bliss, a spiritual perfection. 777, 3 sevens represents a threefold protection or threefold perfection of the Trinity. The Trinity is the number 3, right? 3 times 7 is 21. As this year's 2021, people. It's a reset coming, because 7 does mean reset. And so as this unemployment system, right, and California, poorly written, the emergency action is required or to avoid disrupting the economy. They are looking to shut down independent contractors. And if states refuse the federal test, right, unemployment taxes for businesses in those states will rise people 5.4% per employee. So if federal workers, right, the unemployment eligibility, if a state refuses to use the federal test for unemployment taxes, businesses in those states will be punitive for 5.4% rise per employee. Per employee. So the goal of this is to ultimately force contractors in all 50 states to become federal employees for federal unemployment tax services. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're new to the channel. Always good to have experts on. She said, I'm new to the channel, but I'm currently a tax preparer. And you're absolutely right about, yeah, you have to leverage the tax laws. The number one stealer of people will, right? I won't read your comment, right? In 2013, have you all heard of the word transhuman? That's worth doing some research on as well. But I'm going to show this for you all. I'm going to show it to you. I'm just not going to say it to you. That the goal of this plan is to ultimately, so you don't think I'm just making this up, ultimately force independent contractors in all 50 states to become employees under federal unemployment tax purposes. Here's the rise in 4.5% per employees. Raising their taxes and interfering with an individual's right to choose how they earn a living. Today, millions of American workers operate as independent contractors instead of employees. This allows them to operate their own small business with freedom and flexibility to serve their clients as they choose. The Wyden plan directly threatens this choice. If the plan becomes law, countless businesses will be forced to pay new taxes to continue to use of independent contractors. Those higher taxes would needlessly disrupt economic activity and violate Democrats' pledge to not raise taxes on small businesses. There it is, people. There it is. There you go. Democrats pledge not to raise taxes. So let's not get in the political debate of I told you so. Let's get into a higher degree of acceleration. I talked about the number 7. Is it 7 moves beyond the earth. So does 8 and 9. 4 is the number for the material world. Everything past 4 goes into the spirit realm. But guess what, people? You got to have spiritual and earthly wisdom. And if you are not preparing a plan, people get on my channel all the time. This is a pandemic. This is a pandemic. What's your plan for the pandemic? I will see what happens with this Democrat plan to wipe out independent contracts. What's your plan for the pandemic? I have heard of Nasara, Cynthia. I cover Nasara. I don't believe no IRS or taxes will come. Because one thing that the Bible tells us, I believe the Bible has all the predictions for where we are right now. One thing that even Jesus said, he says, render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, but render unto God what belongs to God. There will be taxes, but you don't have to give them the highest amount. See, behind me, I have the Robert Kiyosaki, the cash flow quadrant. Employees are taxed 30 to 40%. People that work, specialists, doctors, lawyers, work solo, small businesses. And usually in this tax bracket, the max that they make is $500,000. Then if you own a small business, you must pay taxes for your employees also. See, people are so big on making money and chasing money. They don't know how to make their money chase them. And they don't know how to save the money that they're already making. And so what you do is, and who's my tax expert, Miss Chronicles? You shift yourself, and this is done, and you see the book Lower Your Taxes, through a home-based business and to the same tax bracket I told you all about, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Kanye West, how they save 106 billion in taxes. You shift yourself over here where Amazon is, and you get the same tax bracket that they get, because you only have 1% of the people on this side of the quadrant anyway. Well, 10%. 90% of people make money as an employee or 1099 contractor or specialist or small business or just solo, right? You can make money in all four quadrants. Now, if you can invest and hold, right, then your tax even lower, 0 to 10%. But this is the thing, most people, as we see exactly 111 people in, I love that. This is the thing, people can't invest and hold when they don't have continuous cash flow. And they don't have continuous cash flow because they try to make money solo over here. They don't know the power of networking. And Crystal says, aloha, everyone. Have to get going. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love teaching this, though. I can teach all night, but I'm going to get off. I absolutely love teaching financial education and kingdom economics and heaven. Carlton Davenport, and the Cash App, he gave him to 3333 for business. DNA transformation, the Trinity, you're in the spiritual world. Definitely touch and agree with you on that. That the infinite spirit gives you your immediate supply. What divinely belongs to you when you give into kingdom economics and concepts, right? So I pray that comes to you by divine right. It's not a privilege, people. It becomes a divine right. And I thank the infinite spirits, infinite power. I thank everyone that came in and chimed in on the live stream. You all continue to bless yourself. And the people that gave via Cash App or Super Chat. I always put this on it. It's kind of like a disclaimer. With good to all concerned, right? There have been people that have been giving and then they receive a big payout or a lawsuit, but it may involve an accident or an incident. So I always put that disclaimer on it. We want your money to be multiplied to you, your peace, your health, your prosperity, your wall of protection, right? With good, that's all, with all concern, right? So you all check out the home-based business, 1111millionmovement.com. And I also want to thank people who have purchased my book on Amazon, who give the Cash App, the Super Chats. But I'm going to say this again. When you have not invested in anyone, you don't have an opinion. People have bought the Cash on Crypto book, supported that book. You know, I have people to tell me I just bought it to support you. When that digital book as well, and also my physical book. So I just really love you all, and I just really want to see everybody win. Want everybody to have liberty and freedom. And so this is on Amazon. And guess what? I also have it in Espanol if I can. I don't know if I can pull it up because it's Notas. And let me see if I can spell it right. And Spanish. So the Spanish version, now it's still just showing the English. Um, and woman said we should all be millionaires. Let me see if I can find the Spanish version. But it is available in Spanish as well. So if you speak Spanish or you know someone that does, definitely encourage that to get the Spanish version. And take time to leave a good review as well. And thank you for the support. It is a very easy read, but I want to be simple and yet profound. So I did find the Spanish version on here. I share that link. I really want to get this message out to the Spanish community as well. So that's the Spanish version. Miss 111 Notas Millionaires. And I had someone to translate that for me in Spanish as well. So thank you again. And I think we've already been getting a purchase today in Spanish. So thank you. All of this is in Spanish. I can't read it to you. I had an interpreter to do it, but I do know what it says. I just can't read it verbatim. So thank you all as well. And people, please get you a plan B and in some cases a plan C. Some cases a plan D. This economy is shut down, which looks like that's what definitely happened. You need to have a plan to make money from home, and you definitely need to have your tax plan in place. Most definitely, right? Most definitely have a tax plan in place. And starting that in 2022 won't help. The last quarter, people, listen, Wednesday marks 100. When September 22nd hits, it's going to be exactly 100 days left in the year. We're in the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter of this year. So if you don't have a business starting now, then you don't have those tax deductions to claim for 2021 and in 2020 as well. Learn Latin. Many of the policies, ordinances, and statutes are written in English and Latin. Thanks for that tip. So magnify your mind, right? Magnify your mind, manifest with your mouth, multiply your money, people, and maximize your vision in life. Listen, you were not created to just be on this earth to work a job, pay bills, and to die. Be a success and be a blessing to bless others. Thank you so much, Mystic Moon, as we are sharing, having a full harvest moon tonight. So thank you so much and motivate me. Yeah, have a true plan. Have a plan in place to prepare. God can bless a plan. He can't bless nothing. That's the parable of the talents. The man dug his money and hid it in the ground. He was not blessed. He was actually called evil and wicked. God can bless a plan. He can't bless nothing. Right? In 2 Kings chapter 4, the woman started a home-based business. Her husband died and her sons were about to be sold to the creditors to pay off that debt and bad debt. You know what, Keith? The first thing I need people to understand is English first. They need to understand these tax laws. See, this is the thing. People try to go way somewhere when you haven't learned the basics yet. We trying to go to the moon and you haven't even hit the ceiling. Learn these English tax laws first. How about learn the tax code that Biden is about to bust up the middle class with? An independent contractor. How about learning that? How about learning basic stuff? How about learning what Jay-Z said? Broke people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. How about learning just that? How about learning John D. Rockefeller? I would rather earn 1% off 100 people efforts than 100% of my own. Let's stick to the basics and build. Before we get into learning Latin and Hebrew. Because you can speak Latin and Hebrew and you still be broke. I'm signing out, y'all. Have a great, great night.